So as you guys may know, I was invited to a convention by one of my buddies called the Game and Geek EXPO in Raleigh, North Carolina, by an organization and under an umbrella of an organization called the Raleigh Retro Gamers. I was very, very excited about this because it seemed like a really, really cool convention. We contacted my race team and we were going to bring my race truck, my actual NASCAR truck from Charlotte. We just raced. We were going to pull it to the convention, put it beside my booth, clean it up, make sure it's sparkly, and have it ready to go. Have some tethers around it so people can't slap it. You know, I got merch made. I got a custom hero card made for it. I was going to give out for free with autographs. Had it all planned out, had parties planned out, all that stuff planned out really, really well. So the day that they announced that I was coming, they put me on a little flyer and put it on their Instagram. Well, an individual from their leadership team went to my YouTube channel, found out immediately that I'm not a violent liberal. Unfortunately, somebody didn't get the memo for the last 7 years that canceling somebody over slightly leaning right just a little bit, probably not the way to go. So my one of the individuals told me that this girl had a problem immediately with me being announced. And he said that she was extremely like Karen-y leftist, immediately threatened that she would not be at this convention working if I was going to be there. So this is what I was told like day 2 after the announcement. This was weeks ago, by the way. I was like, okay, that's pretty weird, but they reassured me that it was all good. The allegation was I had Cecil on a stream with me, and I introduced Cecil on the panel, and I said, hey, I haven't seen you, Cecil, since we went ass to mouth in Florida. She used the ass to mouth comment saying I wasn't family friendly enough to be at the con. Keep in mind, there are women going to this con who do porn. But that's fine. Me saying ass to mouth is just too much. I was reassured it was going to be totally cool, but the con, Game and Geek EXPO, did remove me from all their media. They removed the Instagram post, the Facebook post, all of it. They deleted all that shit. I immediately went to the guy that I trusted, and I'm like, hey, dude, really feels like I'm about to get canceled. I'm going to warn you, don't do this. And he's like, nah, dude, it's all good. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, I assure you, it's all good. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, let's fast forward a little bit. I had another stream the next Monday. And this stream, I was just talking about different subject matter like I always do, with very, very nuanced positions like I always do. So I was talking about the rise of, mental illness. Mental illness, maybe diagnosed or maybe just mental illness in general, has been rising the last 50 years, like substantially. These things are more prevalent in niche communities like different subreddit communities, parasocial relationships, and cosplayers. Anything in that kind of community, right? And I was like, so mental health, you'll find a lot of people are struggling with mental health, which can sometimes lead to radicalizations. And that's why you get always, when you look at somebody that's trying to cancel somebody, it's somebody from one of these groups. That doesn't mean it's all these people at all. Not even the majority even. It's a small percentage. All these people are likely really good people. But there are some outliers that often come from these groups because they have a higher rate of mental illness. That's all I said. I never said anybody was bad. Well, let's fast forward a little bit. We're going to come back to this. So we go to Charlotte, and I have 2 people that from the convention, one of them, which I'm pretty sure is like in the leadership, but I think both of them are. They came to my race for the VIP like passes. I got them some VIP passes, which are like $500 a piece. Okay, that are paid out of my contract through sponsorships. And I'm like, all right, yeah, come on, dude. You guys are hooking me up. You guys have been good to me. I'm going to be good to you. Because that's how I roll. We have a terrible race, but it was still a good day. I'm trying to take solace in it. But, we had a bad race, but whatever. It happens, right? I leave and I go home. I wake up Sunday morning and I have an email from the president of the Game and Geek EXPO in Raleigh, North Carolina. And the president of this expo sends me pretty much what it looks like to be an AI written cancellation letter where people are uncomfortable with my presence, but it's not reflecting on you, but they're uncomfortable with me. Think about that for a moment. This letter that I was sent, me reading this, I don't know what happened. And if other people are reading this that are not privy to the situation, it looks like I could have talked to an underage kid. And that's why I've got canceled. No one knows. Everybody online is asking, what did I do? And you can't really answer it, because it's just because who you are. Now, they do point to a specific thing with the cosplay furry brony, like me just talking about the psychological aspects of the rise of mental illness in current niche groups, which I never threw anybody under the bus, but that's what they were using as the catalyst to finally throw me out. And they were planning on doing it. It's very obvious they were planning on doing it the entire time after day 1. Now I'm going to play you a call where the president actually called me on the phone. He was begging me to basically not smear him and ruin him. So I was like, I need to record this. So I hit record on it. So I'm going to play the call for you right now, and I'm going to explain a lot of things, and I'm going to be stopping it probably pretty often. There's just a lot of context to this that I got to get through and like let you guys understand what exactly is happening. Okay, so let's do that right now. Here we go.
And you're right, dude. As a content creator, again, dude, I got fucking 200,000 followers. I get it. Like I get it. You have a lot of power there, man, and I'm trying to mitigate it. I don't want you to take losses on this. All right.
Too late. So what we're about to get into right here is he is claiming that he doesn't want to destroy my brand. Bro, I have had people swap my ass. You have no power over me. I've been through this shit thick and thin 1,000 times. A cosplayer or a convention owner has no power over me. I've had some of the biggest YouTubers in the world come after me. You ain't got no power over me. Well, let's continue. You'll see what we're getting into here.
So like, and that's why I haven't publicly said anything about like who or what or any of that. I haven't addressed it at all. Yeah. I haven't addressed it at all.
Yeah.
So, but the only backlash I'm getting right now is just like from like some of your followers from the Twitter situation and some of our and by the way, I just want you to know the Carolina Game Summit people, they're completely not involved.
Yeah, so that's something I need to say as well. I did quote tweet the Carolina Game Summits. So the Carolina Game Summits is just a company that's leasing equipment to the Game and Geek EXPO. They are not in charge of anything. People kind of ran with it because the Game and Geek EXPO has no social media presence on X or Twitter. So people were like, we gotta find somebody to complain to. I asked, because I saw that they were promoting it, and I asked if they knew anything about it on Twitter, and then it freaking everybody was like, it's their fault. And I'm like, no, it's not their fault. So I deleted that post because they had nothing to do with it. People are saying online that they should drop out of the event in solidarity. That's neither here nor there. That I don't really have an opinion on that. I don't really think they're involved at all. So, but that's the issue is they don't have a presence on Twitter. So they were looking for somebody to go after.
At all.
Right.
They are not involved at all. Like they're setting up some Mario Kart tournaments, but it's funny because it's not funny at all. But yeah, they're getting a lot of backlash from some of the tweets. But yeah, they're not involved at all. But Cody, listen, bro, I'm not trying to like come at you and be like, oh, I'm trying to like silence what you're doing. And I literally, dude, I'm a fucking small business, bro. Like, like I'm not trying to take sides. I do not take anything from the left or the right or whatever. Like, I'm not political.
Now, keep this in mind. This is very important. He is saying he does not take sides, but I'm not allowed to go to this convention anymore. So it seems to me a side has been taken.
It's just when we go back and we look at what's posted on our website, which is the code of conduct, and like that's what people are fucking trying to hold us accountable for because it's already posted publicly. Like it says like no discrimination, blah, blah, blah. It's all inclusive.
No discrimination, all inclusive, unless you happen to be disliked by a photographer or something, allegedly. Then you are able to be discriminated against, and it is not inclusive for you.
That's all it is, man. I would never, I would never try to like silence you and what you do, and you as a content creator. Like you can say whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Cause that's you, man. And I'm not gonna hate you for that. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just coming at you as like, this is our first time, bro. It's a first time con. We have a lot on the line. I literally, my whole family situation is on the line for the shit. And I get it. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about the brand.
This is an attempt to manipulate my empathy to not do anything as a result to the backlash against me. Right. So it's like, hey, I got a family. I got a business. This is going to ruin me. Blah, blah, blah. Look, I get it. We've all been there. But that doesn't mean I'm going to just die for you. I'm not going to fall on the sword for anybody unless it's my own family or people that I love. That's obviously just a manipulation tactic. So, cover this a little bit. He's saying this is his first time running a con, which is very obvious. And it's actually kind of sad. And I'm not saying sad as in pathetic. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying sad as in he let himself probably get manipulated by like one of these people. He let himself get manipulated by one of these like girls or photographers or something, allegedly, and probably didn't know what was going to happen because they're like, oh, you just cancel him and he'll be fine. Just cancel him because he's evil. He's a bigot. Cancel him. He was probably like, oh, yeah, I can just do that and it'll be fine. Like, I don't know nothing about the online spectrum. We barely have a social media presence, and he had no idea. So it kind of feel bad because he had no idea. And I tried to warn everybody. I tried to warn him. I tried to warn my buddy that was involved in it. I tried to warn everybody. I'm like, if you fucking cancel this, if you remove me from this con, it will go nuclear. It will go to the stratosphere. Tim Pool's going to talk about it. Asmongold's probably going to talk about it. And then once Asmongold talks about it, every other commentator that exists on the platform will talk about it. And that'll be the end. And no one listened to me. Obviously, I'm going to share the post. How am I going to tell the people that were going to come that I'm not coming? Oh, I'm not allowed to be at that con. Why? Well, I'm not supposed to say. Why would I protect anybody else's brand when mine's tarnished? Why would I protect somebody? That makes no sense. And you're going to hear that in this call, by the way.
It's a first-time con. We have a lot on the line. I literally, my whole family situation is on the line for the shit. And I get it. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about the brand. I get it. You don't care. But at the same time, I'm just trying to like come at you as a man to man. I don't want you to make any sacrifices for like what you believe in either. But I promise you, bro, like I don't have backing like what you just said. I don't have that. I'm literally a fucking guy in Raleigh.
Right.
Like you could ruin me. I'm not clapping back. I am literally saying like, what can I do, bro, to like not. I don't want to fuck you either. I don't want you to feel disrespected because.
Well, that's pretty hard. I don't want you to feel disrespected, but these certain people are uncomfortable with you. The most basic dude that's never actually been in a fight, not confrontational, won't hurt anybody, super nice to everybody that I've ever come in contact with. Like, I don't care what color you are. I don't care what groups you're in. I don't care if you're a cosplayer or a furry. I don't care what you are. I'll be super cool with you. As long as you're cool with me, I'm cool as hell. Hell yeah, dude. I like your fursuit. What's up? I don't care. The people you're catering to, though, they will. Be very careful to the people you're catering to. Be very careful when they come up to hug you and you put your arm around their waist. Be very careful because those people that are coming after me, they will be coming after you next. You set the precedent. You are next.
It was just that we were getting a lot of backlash from the local community. And it wasn't just like one person, bro. I would never let that happen for one person.
Well, that's good. At least we know that if it's like more than one person. That's my favorite part of the call. And it's like the most basic part. It's like the most bland part of the call. But it's like my favorite part of the call. It's like, I would never do it for one person. But God forbid 2 people contact me. Then your ass is grass.
We were getting a lot of backlash for just different things. And dude, like I watched your streams, man. I mean, it's not like hate speech in it or anything. Like I get it. Like I totally get it.
And he's saying right here that he has watched my streams before and he totally thinks they're fine, which he's kind of saying that it's not his choice, apparently. Somebody else's choice, not his. Whose choice was it? No one knows.
I just want to try to find a way, man, that we can vindicate this. But you're right. We did ask you to be there. Our team asked you to be there. So I know you're out stuff for that, and you did promote it. So you're entitled to whatever, you're entitled.
So if you guys can't tell, what seems to be happening here is an attempt to buy me out of running a smear campaign, I guess, which this isn't a smear campaign. A smear campaign is when you make up crazy ass shit and try to destroy somebody's character, which isn't true. Kind of like what happened to me. That's fine. Now, that being said, all I did was post a damn email. All I did was post an email that was sent to me. If it's a smear campaign as a result of that email, maybe that's probably not the right thing you should have done. If a smear campaign can be launched on your words with no injection of somebody else's words, you probably goofed a little.
I don't know. I was just hoping that maybe we could find like a common ground where we could figure out something that works for both of us. And I'm not asking, for whatever. Like I'm just trying to find a common ground, bro.
Right.
Chase is my buddy too. Like he's my good friend, and obviously y'all knew each other. And
what even is the point here? You're gonna be asking yourself a lot. What I gather kind of in my own thoughts is he was hoping that I would just like delete everything and call everything off for like no reason out of the goodness of my heart. The goodness of my heart doesn't extend to people I don't know. Like if I let you borrow $1,000 and then you burn it at a casino and you come back and you want to borrow another $1,000, I probably won't give it to you because you fucked me.
That's why you were brought into conversation, and we had a racing section, and we were like, oh, that would be cool if we had, like a race car driver or somebody. But that's why we brought you on, man. And with that being said, like, we're not like a big company or like anything like that. It's literally me, man. So I don't know. I was just trying to figure out if there was a way that we could make it not shitty.
Oh, like, we'll go back to something you said. You said you don't pick sides, and when you say something like that, why exactly am I not going to this convention?
Well, the reason was, man, because the cosplay stuff that you were talking about, and that's like 30% of the people that come to these my events are cosplayers, and they were. That was what the part was like. That.
All right, I'm going to give you some context that's very important here because we're about to get into the spooky. For context, 3 cosplayers that are attending this convention, 3 of them have reached out to me and said this is bullshit, that I'm getting canceled, by the way. 3 cosplayers that I do not know have reached out to me saying, wow, this is absolute bullshit that you're getting canceled from this. And they don't even know me. Number 2 is 2 cosplayers I do know have reached out to me. One of which was asked to promote this expo. And she's like, they actually canceled you? And I'm like, yep. And she was like, holy shit. She's like, I was supposed to promote that expo. Pretty wild shit, right? So it's like, oh, all these cosplayers are pissed at you, but 5 that I know of in the last day have reached out to me like, what the fuck? So obviously we're not going to make sweeping generalized statements here. Now, something very shocking is going to happen on this call here in a second.
That was like really like negating like how we could move forward. Because dude, and it's exactly what you were alluding to in your video is, people taking sides and like harping and going off about it. Like, I mean, it's exactly what you said, bro. Like they're fucking gonna make a big deal out of it.
So, what have we learned here? He agrees that people in these communities are going to make a big deal about it and demand I be removed. He agrees with me, and then he's doing it. Very strange.
Like I get what you were saying. I get where you're coming from, man. Like I completely respect like your thoughts and opinions on it, and I'm not trying to say, oh, you're wrong or whatever. Like I don't want you to think that this is like an attack against you, or like obviously you don't care, but like you don't care what I think or what my opinion is. But that's why you have the followers that you have, because you have no filter. You just fucking tell it like it is. I get that, bro.
You tell it like it is. So he's saying that's how it is. But you have to pay for it.
But I'm just telling you that, like, man to man, like, bro, like this is fucking everything that I put everything into this community. And when a big majority of it is like having issues, like that's when I'm trying to.
It went from 30% to a big majority now don't want me to be there. Although I don't have the numbers, I can guarantee you that is not true. Because if you go to their Instagram post or their Facebook post, there is not one comment saying, why is this Camelot guy going? Not one. What does that mean? that means it was internal. If you go to their Instagram now, it is freaking nuked with people freaking the hell out over me getting canceled. I did not tell people to go do that, by the way, but people do that. That's just how that works. You know, it's the storm.
Like, look, dude, I don't go left. I don't go right. I'm agnostic to politics completely. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. I really don't. I just want people to come to my fucking events.
Unless they're me. Unless they're me, then that does not apply anymore. All right. That's the unnerving part about that, by the way. But let's continue.
And that's that. And Cody, I'm telling you, that's literally all I care about, bro. I just want to come. Like, our events are like, man, that's something that's kind of like something that we have here. Like, people that would never hang out with each other are there.
Yes, a complete diverse group of people that may not come from the same background nor believe the same things. That's what a con is. It's a bunch of people from different backgrounds that may believe different things, but they can get along and they can relate to each other through games, video games, anime, cosplay, all this culture stuff, nerd stuff rather, right? So everybody's allowed and it's all inclusive because it's not about that kind of stuff. But if you're Camelot, you're not allowed.
I just want people to come to my fucking events.
Yeah. And what does that ultimately mean? He wants people to come to his events. What he's saying is he wants to sell as many tickets as possible to make as much money as possible. And if for at any moment, and see, either way we look at this, it's bad. If he cancel me because he wants more money, that's bad, right? If he cancel me because a couple people like find themselves on the left and they don't like somebody that leans right, then that's also very bad. Both things are bad. It's like Smash JT is going to the Southeast Game Exchange. Smash JT is a hyper polarizing figure online, and he's attending the Southeast Game Exchange. And you can bet your bottom dollar there are people that are emailing trying to get him canceled. The difference is the person running the Southeast Game Exchange, he is going to stand by Smash JT because he understands that adhering to anybody that's giving in demands will only allow you to set a precedent to have to adhere to all the demands from now on. If you give one person power, everybody has that power. You're no longer the person in charge. Everybody else is.
This convention is something that just kind of, popped up here in the last, and we only did this in the last 3 months. Most people, they plan this shit out for years.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally, I was just doing stuff in my local community, man. And, that's how I met Chase. And, like, again, bro, like, I no judgment to you at all. Like, I completely understand where you're coming from. But you, bro, you got a big voice and you have a huge following too. And I understand that as a content creator myself.
I got to say something real quick because I was thinking about this earlier while driving to the gym. If you are a large content creator yourself and you know what it's like, you totally get it. How are you in this position? If you make one video on YouTube and that shit gets 1 million views, you can scroll and 1 out of every 10 comments are somebody that wants you dead. How did you survive that and get to this point to where you're canceling me? I learned my first day on YouTube, that I have to ignore the loud minority because if I don't, they will destroy me.
I want to find a way that, like, and dude, I did not want to do that. I didn't want to send you that fucking email, man. Like, I really didn't. Like,
but you did.
Me and Chase, we were talking like when the first video, and you took it down, and thank you for that. Like, thank you.
I regret that, by the way. Yes, I took down my first stream with Cecil where I said ass to mouth, and I very, very regret that because I should have. That's sorry. That's me not standing on my principles, and I kind of regret that. I did it because I'm friends with somebody within this community, and I respect that person. So I decided, you know what? I'm friends with this person. I don't want them to catch some fire from this. I'm going to go ahead and take it down for the time being. It's just unlisted. It's still up there. So I will be putting it back up.
But you've been very fucking cool about all this shit.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. No other YouTuber or creator would do that shit. Would take a fucking video down. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, well, Chase is my friend. That's the only reason I did it. There's no other reason. So
No, 100%. Like, no one would do that at all. I totally get that. Like, fucking creators, they say what they say, and that's their content. Listen, I get where you're coming from, man, and you know, if there's any way for us to mitigate it, maybe we can't, maybe we can't. I just wanted to call you man to man because I sent you that fucking email.
I'm going to go ahead and show you that email because I know a lot of you probably don't have the context. So he sent me an email, and I'm going to show it to you now. Thank you again for your interest in being a part of the Game and Geek Expo. We appreciate the time and effort you put into your content and the support you've shown towards our event. I did give away free tickets to the event, VIP access, and I have contacted those people to let them know that it's a no-go. I don't really care for the verbiage here where it says, thank you for your interest in being part of the Game and Geek Expo. I was invited to it personally. I never reached out to them. They reached out to me one day and was like, hey, you should be a celebrity guest at our show. And I was like, hey, that sounds cool. Like, as long as the rooms and the flights are paid for, I'll be there. Let's go. So I started making it a huge event, and I was like, I'm going to get my NASCAR team involved, and we're going to go crazy because I'm in the NASCAR 25 video game, so it feels like a perfect fit. So yeah, I didn't have an interest in being there. I was invited to go there personally. This was not a thing where I reached out to anyone. I was contacted to be a part of this event. It says, after careful consideration, we've made the decision to move forward without your involvement in this year's show. While we truly appreciate your recent efforts, including the removal of one of the flagged videos, additional content has since surfaced that has raised continued concerns from our community, guests, and sponsors. That being literally pick whatever you would like to pick on my channel. You can find any YouTuber or Instagram influencer or what have you, TikToker, that has a large following. You can scroll through any of their videos and their comment sections and their Twitters and their Facebooks and their posts, and you can find something that might be a slightly on the edge of socially approvable for a mainstream audience. Every creator on earth, even like Scotty the Waz, bro, all the good ones, you can still find that. It's kind of a meaningless statement. If you are on the outside looking in reading this, some other stuff has come to light, and you didn't know me nor this con, what would you assume? I want somebody in the chat to tell me what you would assume if you did not have any context and you read that some stuff has come to light that we can't allow. What would you assume? Because I know what I would assume. 100% something illegal or something very fucked. But no, it was because I don't like your YouTube channel and your political affiliations. Unfortunately, we've already experienced the loss of a sponsor and several other guest participants due to this situation, and it's beginning to negatively affect the overall perception and inclusivity, very important word, of our event, which means all are welcome. That's what inclusivity means. All are welcome. Please understand this is not a reflection on you as a creator, but rather a necessary step to ensure we are maintaining a space that is welcoming, because I am not welcoming, respectful because I am not respectful, and positive for all attendees and partners because I am not positive. We absolutely respect your right to creative expression and free speech, but we also have a responsibility to our broader community, except for me and my audience. So that's basically that's the whole email. So just to let you guys understand what's going on there.
I just wanted to let you know, man, just man to man, like if you want to stand on business like that, I get it. As a man and as your brand and your content, I get it. But I was just gonna ask.
Yeah. So I gotta put out a little bit of context here, because NASCAR Kelly asked what vendors or sponsors dropped out. From my understanding, from what I've been told, so I don't know how accurate this is, but I've been told this I'm pretty sure on this call I'm told this. I could be wrong. He says they have one sponsor and it's a local gaming store. But in the email, it says he lost several sponsors. Do you have several sponsors that you lost, or do you have one sponsor, like he told me previously? Kind of sounds like it's not true. Who are the guests that left? Because there was not a single hate comment that I saw on their Instagram about me coming. Not one. You go to it now, it's pretty devastating. But not one. No one reached out to me. Not a single person reached out to me and said, hey, I don't like you, like you're bad, which is what they would have done. No one reached out to me. I didn't see anybody, not in my chat, not on Twitter, not on Instagram. So loss of guest, I don't know about that. Loss of sponsors, from what I was told, there was one. Loss of vendor spots on the website, their vendor spots are sold out. Kind of seems Like a fib.
When you say mitigate it, like what do you like? What's on your mind? Because I already told you, like, I don't really know how we can mitigate other than like reversing the decision, telling the detractors to fuck off, and then post a statement saying you stand beside me. Other than that,
Right.
that's not gonna it's not gonna do anything. But what are you thinking? Because I mean, you obviously probably thinking something as well.
Even if they did that, like I suggested, even if they did that, there's gonna be some negativity. And I'm not talking about from the cosplayers, whatever. I'm talking about if you did that, people that support me are still, there's going to be a couple of them, probably 10% that still piss, maybe more. So there's really no way out, but that's the best solution. Like that's the best possible solution.
Well, if you have money invested, send me the fucking invoice. I'll pay it. I'll pay whatever. If you had stuff that you paid for, I'll send me the invoice. I'll fucking pay it. Again, I haven't said and I will stand by this. We will never say anything bad. We haven't mentioned anything about any of this controversy situation at all, and we won't. But like I said, I will reimburse you for anything that you've already paid. That's all I can do. I don't know what else to do to mitigate it. I mean, you tell me.
I mean, like, to be fair, how does that mitigate it? I specifically did not attempt to sell sponsorship for the Michigan race in the truck series, which is a possible $40,000. I avoided that completely because it was on the same day as the convention. Are you going to send me 40 grand? I doubt it. Look, I'm not saying that anybody should like be aware of my schedule. I'm not saying that. But I race in NASCAR every weekend, like actual NASCAR. And when I skip a race that I can sell sponsorship for, that's a big deal. And I knew right away that if I told him about that previously, you be able to do that? I doubt it.
I mean, that just sounds like fixing it for you, and then I just am fucked. I mean, that's what that sounds like, right? Like that's it. Yeah. What do I get out of this mitigation? Like, I mean, money's not a big deal for me. Like,
no, I get it. No, I get it. Well, money's a big deal for us because we don't have it.
Right.
So that's a big deal for us. Maybe not for you, but you're right. You already said it. I don't know, man. You tell me, bro. Like, how do we make this fucking right? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to make it right, bro.
It's fishing for a number to pay me is what it is. And I know I'm not trying to say anything out of the way or like speak of my financial situation, which is not crazy good or anything. NASCAR is rough, but giving me a couple $1,000s doesn't make me forget about my principles. The number's pretty high for that to happen. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's got a number. I'm not going to lie to you. If he was like, I'll give you $100,000, my happy ass would be like, all right, deleting everything. You know, that's a big deal. You know, I could pay my mortgage now. But that being said, you're not gonna be able to give me a couple grand to get away, like to not stand on my principles. But if I can buy a Ferrari, I might do. What about a free medium fries? Delicious.
Again, bro, I like, dude, I totally get it, man. I don't want to disrespect you or do anything. This is just the event as it is. Like, yeah, I'm that's it's like a peace offering. I'm trying to figure out how we can like make it right with you. I don't know. Maybe you don't know right now. I know we called you out of blue, so I don't know if you want to think about it and let me know. But
so obviously you can tell I'm not really interested in money. I'm not really interested in getting paid off. But I'm going to ask some questions in this call to try to kind of like figure out what's going on because this doesn't really happen very often. So I wanted to ask some very pointed questions.
I'm trying to make it right, bro. I don't want this to look and reflect like negatively on which it already is.
I gotta say he is trying very, very hard to like word himself correctly here. Because you could tell what he wants to say. He's like, it is, negatively affecting me. But he catches himself. He's like, it's negatively affecting, like, I don't want it to like affect you. And I'm like, it's not affecting me. I promise you. All the cosplayers can come out and be like, well, you a bitch. And I'd be like, I agree. And that'd be the end of it.
And I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. But like, we're not calling out. We're not like, oh, fucking Cody's not coming. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
we're not saying anything about it. There's no bad press on our end.
Well, I mean, to be fair, when you send me an email that says, people aren't comfortable with me being there because of the overall perception and inclusivity of the event, which is weirdly ironic to me. I mean, that implies that I'm a bad person. I'm a bad vibe. I'm a bad aura, right? And that's where the issue lies. I mean, you say there's no negative press on your side, but I mean, the entire email is like, hey, you make people uncomfortable, which, to be fair, when you say stuff like that, it can mean some pretty fucked up stuff. So there's people don't even know what's going on, right? Like, the people are messaging me like, what did you say? I'm like, no, I didn't say shit. I said the same stuff that I say on my podcast every single day. And there's probably people out there thinking that I've talked to a 14-year-old girl or something. Like, they have no idea why I was removed from this thing, man.
Yeah. So, this is where he's going to blame me. So get ready. This is where he's going to blame my ass.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's where the biggest issue comes. Like, there's people out there. It's like, damn, well, I wonder what this guy did. I wonder what fucked up thing he did. And I literally did nothing. That's the issue. Is I just said a thing on my podcast, like, casually, which maybe it aligns slightly lean right, which I know is completely unacceptable, especially when it comes to like the anime cosplay furry community. But when it comes, like, what it boils down to is I didn't do anything wrong. So that's why it's kind of like, so to send an email that in the entire body of the email implies I did something horrifically fucked up to get kicked out of this con. That's where we're going to have an issue, which is why it's going viral and trending right now. Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, just I mean, literally, I sent the email to you, so I didn't send the email publicly to anyone else.
Right.
You posted it, bro.
Yeah.
But again, thank you for.
So let's debunk that a little bit, right? Obviously, I'm going to post it to explain to people why I'm not going to the con that they paid to go to. That's number one. Number two, to claim he showed that to no one before sending it to me, kind of hard to believe that he didn't get approval from other people within the convention. Should I send this? Is this the right way to say this? Right. And also, he CC'd somebody on it. So he didn't send it to just me. But that's just, and also, like Erikaya says, that there was no NDA involved either. So,
but I sent it to you. I didn't. We haven't made any public posts about it, so it's not like we're defaming you or it's making you look bad. But I get it. It definitely. If I read that email and I was a guest, I'd be like, "Fuck that shit."
He goes back and forth a lot on this, by the way. He'll be like, I sent it to you, but I totally get it. Like, if I saw it, I'd be pretty pissed off, but you are the one that did it and you're bad. You know what I'm saying? And I also got to point this out. And this is not a dig at anybody. When he's like, oh, we've not had any negative press towards you, blah, blah, blah. They could make a post saying that I'm kicked from the event because they are not comfortable with me with me being at the event. And 8 people would have liked it, and no one would have commented on it. It would have not affected me. There was a point in my career on YouTube where I had 10 hate channels that constantly clipped my channels and constantly were getting me swatted. Your Instagram post ain't gonna affect me, man. Not personally and not on a business level.
I get it, bro. Like, I totally do, man. But, like, the thing that you said, like, the stuff that you're saying in your streams listen, this is the way I explain it to Chase. I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck if you're left, if you're right. I do not care. If it's controversial, it's a problem. And
herein lies our issue. He's saying that if you're controversial, you cannot be at a con. Now, is he saying just his con, or you shouldn't be allowed at any con? Because he says it's from a business perspective later. There's a guy on there right now that's been through tons of controversies. He aligns with the left, though. So I can forgive that one because I understand how the game works. I'm not going to pretend I don't. But Cliff Belinsky's on there, and he's had controversy before in the past. What happens when somebody pulls up one of the Cliff Belinsky tweets? What happens? Is he canceled now too? With that being said, you can find controversial content on any creator you want. All of them. If they have more than 10K subs, they got a hate video somewhere.
And that's where I'm hanging my hat on.
Right.
Like, it's controversial, dude. Like, I don't care what you fucking believe, dude. I really don't. Like, no, most people don't, right? Well, I'm not leaning like, oh, I'm letting some person persuade me into making this guest not come. Like, that would not happen at all. But what happens is people take screenshots and people record little sections of things that you said in your stream, which again, you're totally cool. I don't give a fuck what you say on your streams. That's you and your brand.
Keep in mind, I'm going to point this out one more again. He's saying people are taking screenshots and segments of my videos and sending it to him. But not a single comment has popped up in my email, on my Twitter, on my Instagram, or on my YouTube of these people that are apparently just tons of people screenshotting my stuff and sending it personally to this guy. It almost sounds like it's people within the actual con itself. That's what it sounds like. I don't know if that's true, but that's what it kind of sounds like.
I do not care. But you're associated with my event. So when you say that, it has effects. And I sent you that email. I have not publicly said anything about you.
Right. And to be fair, a statement is made by a creator and you're like, well, you're representing my expo. Does that mean I have to adhere my speech for the rest of my life to try to adhere to whatever future expo I may be going to that I'm not scheduled for yet? I wouldn't want to negatively affect a brand of some brand I'm not associated with yet.
You drop my name in your Twitter, my fucking name, my full name, and your Twitter.
And to be fair, it is publicly available on the Game and Geek Expo website. It's literally on the front page, like literally on the front. Like you can go to the gameandgeekexpo.com. The first thing on there. You know what I'm saying? It's possible that it was removed, but it's on Hypnotic's channel right now. It's literally on. If I go to Hypnotic's video, like right now, it's right here. But yeah, there it is. He removed the about page from the top of the navigation bar. That makes sense.
That's where I'm having issue. So we're at a we're trying to figure out that, like, you were a guest, you were invited as a guest, and things came out, and then people started having issues with certain parts of your content.
Dude, imagine if they looked at a video from mine from like 2 years ago, how bad it would have been. Dude, I'm so vanilla now, like compared to what I used to be.
I literally we were sending people messages like, oh, he's a good person. He took the video down. It's all good. Like, we were in good intention. But at the end of the day, bro, I'm not going to have any guest that's controversial. That's not good for business.
And that right there is probably the worst take of the entire call. Having no guests that could be perceived as controversial. Well, you're not going to have any guests then. You'll have a 0 guest list. And I know for a fact there's one person on this guest list that has went through like tons and tons and tons of really crazy allegations.
At the end of the day, like, that might be like what's good for your niche, but it's not good for ours, because we have to have everyone to come to our show.
Except for anybody that can be seen as controversial. I do love this call. This is a fun phone call. I got to be completely honest. Like, this is a fun phone call.
Yeah, well, I mean, the caveat to that is you can Google every single guest you have that has any kind of following, and you can take an out of context thing they say or a screenshot from a post they had 5 years ago, and you could make them controversial, just like those people complaining made me controversial by taking, small clips where I said ass to mouth or something and getting me removed from a convention, right? You can do that to anybody you want. Like, so setting the precedent is, as soon as you let this happen, which has already happened, these people that did that were like, oh, if I ever have a problem with a guest ever, I can just go to their Twitter and find the first out of context thing and just get them removed from the con.
Yep. I mean, I can do that right now, but would it work? I can Google all the guests right now. I would never do that. Obviously, I would never, I don't want anybody to do that because I'm not in favor of that at all. But hypothetically, I could go Google all the guests on the guest list right now, and I could get probably half of them find the exact same kind of shit, but not conservative probably, and send it and spam it. This person did this in 2017. This person did this in 2013. This person did this in 2019. What happens now?
No, I 100% agree with that, dude. But like, you literally posted something 2 days ago, fucking like talking mad shit about the cosplay community. Like, that's not the same thing, bro. Like, you're dropping the con that you're coming to, but you're bashing 30% of the people that are coming. And you justified it, and you were very, you kind of talked through it and all that. But
yeah, I talked through it. So earlier he said he agreed with me and totally understood, and now he's flipped and said I was bashing the entire cosplay. So that's how you can tell immediately that it's an out of context clip and somebody within their like tight knit group shared it, making a generalized statement like I bashed an entire community of people. I am not black and white. I have always been nuanced as long as I can remember, and I'm nuanced right now, and I've been nuanced then. There has never been a time where I said all cosplay people are insane and crazy. That has never came out of my mouth. You could probably cut like 5 out of context things in a row and like make something that almost sounds like that. Obviously, they do it all the time in the mainstream media with like politicians, right? So you could totally do that. It's not what I said. So
yes, the other guests that are coming, like you're right. I could probably go and dig through their stuff and find stuff. But we promoted you as a guest, and what happened was like our community was like, oh, who's this Cody person? And they went and looked at your stuff, and then they were like, the first couple of videos that they found were like super controversial, and they were like, holy shit, what the fuck? And again, it's not just like one person, bro. We wouldn't even be having this conversation.
In our community, very good choice of words there. Because again, never saw a negative comment from anybody. And I will tell you what likely happened, of course. And this is alleged, obviously. But what likely happened is they have a small Facebook group of 10 people or 15 people or 20 people or 20. Could be as low as 5, could be as high as like 50. And they probably have a Facebook group where they talk in like Messenger or something, or some kind of app, Discord or something. And half of them got riled up in that own group. Nothing to do with actual people that are actually coming at buying a ticket, right? With the exception of a handful. Now, I don't know that for sure, but that's kind of what my mind would go to.
Like I was keeping you coming. Like it was all good. We were trying to put out the fires. And again, thank you for taking down that other video. But what you just said, you're like, oh, you can go find some dirt on anybody. It's not like go find dirt. It's like you literally just posted shit that our people are going and looking at because you were a guest.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason, man. And again, please understand, I don't give a fuck what you say, dude. You say whatever you want. I don't care. But it was negatively affecting our fucking event. And as a business, you got to understand that, bro. Like,
yeah, see, this is how you can tell he has no experience with like social media. Because he's like, as a business, you have to understand. I'm like, my entire life is a business. Again, not how catering to the small minority to break all your principles that you claim you have is not a business move you should make.
Everyone comes to the event, not just one side or people that believe in one thing or not another thing. It's everybody has to come, man. We have to sell tickets to everybody, but
except for fill in the blank here. Except for who? We want everybody to come, and everybody has to come, except for you and anybody that was coming to see you.
If we're not going to be able to talk through it, I understand it. Again, I'm not telling you to anything about like what you do. Obviously, you are doing very well for yourself, and that's why we wanted to have you on, man. Like that's really why we wanted to have you on, is because like you do have a big following. You are in NASCAR. You are all these things that we wanted for the event. And again, no fucking hard feelings on my end at all. It is not personal at all, dude. I'm literally just saying I'm going to lose my fucking house if I don't.
Yeah, so I don't know how good of a look it is to imply that you have to do this for money. A guilt trip, right? And look, I'm not saying I want anybody to lose their house. Don't get me wrong. But you posted the official post of me on it. You got to stand by that, or you will die. Like you're going to die in the social perception, and that stands for everyone. If Hassan Piker, which no one likes, if he was invited to a con and then they canceled him, it would be a shitstorm in the exact same way. Granted, they wouldn't. Again, why class? Because he falls into the correct political spectrum. I think the best course of action would be to like my stream right now, you bitches. But other than that, I think the best course of action would be to release a genuine public apology. If you like really believe in free speech, release a public apology.
I really hate that we got to this point, but bro, I told Chase, I was like, let me at least talk to him, man. Like, I just want you to know where I'm coming from, and you can, obviously do whatever you want, Cody. And like, I respect the fact that you do speak your mind and that you do all that. I'm just trying to like make sure that we can have a good event and that we can sell tickets, buddy. I mean,
so the main objective is to sell tickets to this convention. So just so you guys know, the main thing is to sell tickets. The main thing is to not stand by your principles. The main thing is to not make sure people are treated with basic human rights. The main thing is not avoiding discrimination based on whatever political view you may perceive somebody has. It is about selling as many tickets as possible.
Right. And I mean, you want to be all inclusive, but the issue that is the biggest issue is when you're trying to be all inclusive, you're intentionally exclusive to everybody that might believe or say a certain thing, or maybe be outspoken, or maybe just speak their mind. So it's not really all inclusive. It's just it's inclusive for the people that like, shut their mouth and toe the line, and that's where everybody's having an issue online, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, I do look at it as a business. That's the first thing I look at it from a business standpoint, and I'm just telling you, it's not a good business move. You know what I'm saying? From my perspective, like it may be like in the short term, like knee jerk area, it might seem beneficial, but from my experience, it's just. To be labeled as the only convention canceling people, like in 2025 in like the last decade, is like, I wouldn't want to have that I wouldn't want to have that title, is all I'm saying. And I want to reiterate that I'm not, I don't think I'm not, trying to be personal as well. Like, I'm not pissed at you specifically. I'm not pissed at anybody really. I'm just trying to figure out like why. And
yeah. And I think I need to reiterate that here. I know a lot of people are clowning on this dude, but I don't have any ill will towards this guy. I just think he's making some really bad decisions. That's just it's not going to play out correctly. And I'll give you a little bit of a hint. I've been talking in DMs with some creators that you definitely know. And they're working on stories about this right now. And I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I've been in this game a long time. And I do not know what's going to happen, because the size of the audiences this is about to hit. I mean, this has hit over 1 million eyeballs in the last day. By tomorrow night, it could be 100 million. That's what I'm saying when I'm looking at it from a business perspective. And look, you could still do your convention and whatnot. It's just to be the one convention labeled as that convention. God, that sucks. And so I don't hold any ill will towards anybody involved in this, even a little bit. But what it boils down to is, you may think I'm not a big creator. Yeah, I get it. My videos don't get 100K anymore because I started racing and I just don't put out a lot of stuff. I get it. My streams only get 500 concurrent nowadays, right? Which I think is pretty freaking awesome, to be fair. That's a lot of people in my opinion. But still, like, you may think that I don't have a lot of audience. But as soon as I tweet this shit out, that this convention has canceled me, it strikes a chord in everybody that has ever experienced or seen these things happen, and they will all jump on it. So you're going to see some videos pop up in the next day or so from probably a dozen creators. Several of them are going to have millions and millions and millions and millions of subs. And I don't know what's going to happen, right? So I'm kind of stressed out about it, even though I shouldn't be. But I'm kind of stressed out about it. I never wanted this to happen. I got to put that out there. There was not a bone in my body that ever wanted this to happen, even a little bit. I wanted to go to this convention, party with Jeff, party with my boy, party with all these cool ass people. There was a rave. I was excited, drink a little bit, few claws, down some cheeseburgers, and have my race car there. I was going to wear my fire suit. I was going to wear a different fire suit that my buddy had for fun. We were going to have a good ass time. And I know that we're, like he says over and over, that it was a bunch of people, but he also makes the statement that it was within his community. And there's all kinds of people alleging one person or two people, and they've already named the person 100 times, and I'm not going to say their name because I don't know for sure. So, and I wouldn't probably say their name anyway if I knew for sure. It looks like it was personal, because if you go to my Instagram or my YouTube or my Twitter, look in the chat right now. Where is the people at that are angry that I was coming to this convention? Where are they? We have 1,000 people watching. We've had 1,000 people watching for 2 hours. Where are the people that were pissed off that I was coming? The 30% of people, which would be like 3,000 fucking people. Where are they? It's because it was like 1 or 2 people within their tight-knit community that probably works within leadership. I don't know if that's true for sure, but I am not convinced that it was 1,000 people that were angry that were coming. Because why haven't they reached out to me? Why haven't they quote tweeted with their following to get me canceled? That's the first fucking thing you do. That's 101. I can't believe you're going to have this guy at your convention quote tweet. There's not been one. I don't believe they exist. I believe it was 1 or 2. And this is what I believe with no evidence other than what somebody told me that works within the community. I think it was 1 or 2 people that radicalized the rest of them to kick me out of the convention. And it was probably a movement pushed by one person because they saw my Trump intro and was like, nope, I hate Trump. He's an evil Nazi guy. And that was all it took. Right. So that's my opinion. I don't know if that's true.